P 10 16 2. So this is the P upwards, the 10 is in this direction, the 16 is in this direction, and the 2 is in this direction. And in equilibrium, find theta and P. So the first step is to split into the xy components. So for the 10 newtons here, if you just draw this triangle here, you see this triangle here, right angle triangle, just like this, we have the hypotenuse, which is 10, and let's call this length x and y using the cos adjacent over hypotenuse, multiply both sides by 10, we get the length x, and using sine opposite over hypotenuse, multiply both sides by 10, we get the length y. So the length x here would be the horizontal component, and the length y is the vertical component. So that's why we can split the 10 newtons here into 10 cos and 10 sine 25. We do the same thing for the 2 newtons force. Just draw this triangle here. It's a right angle around here. So we have this triangle, the hypotenuse is 2. You can find this length and this length using sine and cos. So just look at the x is beside or adjacent to the angle. That's why we use cos for the horizontal and sine for the vertical. Same thing with the 16 newtons. Now for the 16 newtons, this is the triangle. So for the triangle here, this is the right angle. This means we use 16 cos 16 sine because of the triangle. So notice that you cannot just memorize all the components. In the x direction is using cos and y direction using sine. Well, it depends. In this case, because the angle to vertical, you see the x component is using sine, and the y component is using cos. So draw the triangle to be 100% accurate. Okay, now we have the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 forces. If we analyze, because it is in equilibrium, if we analyze the upwards downwards forces, we have upwards equals downwards, so P equals 2 sine 40. So this is what we get. P equals, this is the upwards force, equals the downwards force, 2 sine 40, 10 sine 25, 16 sine cos theta. So this is downwards, and equilibrium means left equals right. So the forces to the left, we have 2 cos and 16 sine, and the force to the right, we have 10 cos 25. Now if you look at the two equations, this equation has two variables, p and theta, two unknowns. This equation has only one unknown, theta. So of course we're gonna have to deal with this one first, rearrange, do the algebra, and find theta. So here we subtract both sides. We subtract 2 cos 40 from both sides and divide both sides by 16, and we use inverse sine, and we get this angle for theta. After we have the theta, we can replace this theta and use a calculator, and we get the P. So the final answer would be 19.6 and 28.1 in 3SF, and 1 decimal place for angle in degrees. And notice that you should not use only 3SF here, because you might lose accuracy. So this is an intermediate working. If you round off already here and then you round off again, you might get an inaccurate result. So use the store function in the calculator or the answer button, or use many significant figures for the intermediate working. Right, I'll see you again next